Appreciate y'all being here. Coming off the game there on Saturday, really proud of our team for just the way they battled. I mean, it was a game that had momentum swings. It was a hard-fought contest. I thought we knew going into it we were playing a talented team, and we saw that. The way they competed defensively. There were some things that they did that were challenging to face, but I thought offensively did a really good job. We had balance. We stayed consistent in trying to establish the run, and then we knew as the game progressed we'd have opportunities to hit some big plays. I thought that was a really good job by our offense. Being able to execute, and just the response that they had throughout the course of the game. We had a couple of fourth downs we didn't make, and then obviously we had the turnover there early. But other than that, I thought our guys did a great job. Scored touchdowns on 3 of the 4 second half possessions. I mean, really were able to establish some long drives, which is challenging against a good defense. But I thought Jordan was remarkable there, especially in the second half. I mean, it was just he really just did a wonderful job with his arm, with his legs, decision making, and all things. Defensively, it didn't start off the way we wanted. The ball got to the edge a few times on the defense. You gave up a couple of explosive runs. There were some challenges and adversity that showed up. We got to be better at making sure we do have an edge, and whether it's fighting off blocks. I mean, a couple times that guys were restricted. That I thought made it even that much tougher. But at the end of the day, I thought our defense played an exceptional game. It was a tough physical team. Their offensive line, they've done a good job. They're leading the ACC in rushing, and we knew that would be a challenge. I thought their backs were really good, as advertised, what we expected. I thought our defensive backs did a really nice job, being able to kind of contain a couple of talented receivers that they had. Special teams, so proud of our guys. I mean, the kickoff return for a touchdown, something that we've been emphasizing, we've been working, and to see it all come together. Rodney on the one before, I thought was really close to being able to break it. I guess on his first return, and then when Duke after the pick six, it was a momentum swing. But man, what an incredible response, and the blocking of the 10 other guys was really impressive. Some great effort from guys there. And then when Deuce got in the open field, I mean he trusted it, he hit it, and then it was impressive to see him take it back 99 yards for a big play in the game. Our crowd was remarkable. You have 3 straight home games, 3 straight sellouts, but that was really a special atmosphere. It was primetime game. Homecoming. Seminole Heritage celebration. I mean, all those things kind of put into that game, and it was just a remarkable atmosphere, and something I'm definitely grateful for all of our fans, and what that meant for the university, and to be able to put the best of Florida State on showcase there for the world to see. But as we go into this week, we get to go back on the road, playing a Wake Forest team coming off a hard-fought victory, one that they showed a lot of toughness. They'd had a few games where they'd struggled previously, and to see them battle and to be able to come back and win that game the way they did, shows a lot of heart. I know it's going to be a confidence boost for them. It's a very well-coached team. It's a defense that's playing at a very high level. Especially these last few weeks. I mean, they attack and show multiple looks, a lot of different things. The guys play really hard. 2 of the better safeties in our league. And how they play, and then obviously they're looking to make an impact. I think they had 9 or 10 tackles for loss last week. It's kind of similar to these last few weeks. We've seen teams that really very aggressive in their approach and mindset of what they do schematically, and that doesn't change this week. So offensively, I know they were down, I think, their 3rd quarterback last week, and he did a great job in being able to come in and just try to work and operate throughout the system. Had a 2-minute drive to take them down to score. There at the end. What to expect this week? We're gonna obviously playing for their starting quarterback, Mitch Griffiths. I know he was kind of day to day, I think, for this last week, and we'll plan for him, and you'll be able to adjust to whatever shows up and whatever the situation is. But they've got talented receivers. What they do schematically, offensively is really tough. Just with the slow mesh read, it's something that's unique to their program, and it's really unique to college football and how they operate it. So. We know we've got our hands full and need a great week of preparation, but for us it's about continued improvement. And as we talked to the team about last night, I know I'm glad to be able to say it each Monday, but I love the approach and the urgency from our guys. Last night's practice, they came in, they went to work. They're battling to get better, and we're going to need to see that here this week, because you look across college football, and man, if you don't bring it every week, you put yourself in a position to be exposed. And ultimately we're focused on ourselves, continuing to get better. And but I've been proud of our guys of how they've approached that process of getting better.
First question will be Ira, second row on your right.
I know a lot of us were focusing on Jordan running late in that game, but looking back again, he seemed like he did a great game throwing the football and all the different throws and different places he attacked. But did you guys also feel like, because of the way Duke was playing defense, that you might have to use him as a run?
Yeah, we knew going into it that they do such a good job of fitting the run, and they're going to have edges. They're going to make sure that their numbers are right, and so sometimes the way to get that back is to have to incorporate the quarterback some, or to force another read, to where maybe he could be protected and in the run game, and it played out well. And we knew that Jordan would have opportunities, and however many that was throughout the course of the game. I knew once we got in the second half, it's something we really want to kind of push towards a little bit more, and we were able to do that. I know the 95 play drive. Some things are reads, which and there was one time it was a safety blitz, and the safety came to play the running back, which gave Jordan a soft edge to be able to run, and that was good. And Jordan trusted his read, trusted what he saw. But there's also we try to create the opportunity for him and to give him some space, and I thought he did a wonderful job with that as well. So we have those components in each game, and some games it's needed more than others, and but he played. He was lights out. There's a couple missed throws that I say missed connections, because we had to throw early. He put the ball right where it needed to be. I thought there was a few times just at receiver where we got to continue to push to the mark, and that's something that's a rhythm and timing thing. But I thought he was lights out in how he played.
Come to Brendan, front row on the left.
I guess Fabian stood up and said something at halftime. I'm not sure how demonstrative it was, but just for him in general, his growth as a young man from the time he got here to where he is now, how impactful has he been for this program?
I think that's one thing that you see his investment in a program, and I wasn't in there at the time, so we're doing coaches adjustments, but I think that's one of the things that I love about this team is you see the passion and the care that they have, because they've worked so hard, and to be able to go out and to put, they want the same thing. They want their best to be put on display, and to be willing to stand up and step out to say that. Anybody can say words, but are your actions gonna follow up with that? I thought Fabian played one of his better games, was impactful. You could see him continuing to get better as the season's going on. But it's that's one of the things. Just as an entire team, you hope to see guys that have that ownership, have that buy-in, are willing to step out there with how they play and what they do and what they're willing to invest. And then when they speak, people will listen, and you have to earn that. You have to earn that. I guess how you're received from all those messages, and I think Fabian's done that, and he's continuing to work at a high level. He's pushing himself. He's really hard on himself too, in some of the things that where he knows he can be better, and I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing that progress.
We'll go to Kurt, front row on your right.
Jordan, talking to him after the game, he talked about his meeting with you, I think after the Syracuse game, the night after the Syracuse game. How did that kind of come about? Was that just a mutual, maybe we need to just talk about, he talked about finding the fun again and maybe there's a lot of pressure obviously that comes to his role and kind of finding the fun, and how much do you see that benefit him all last week leading up to that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as we go through the season, you try to find, each week there's different guys that I'll talk to and different things that I see, and, I just, I thought it was a good time midway through the season. It's easy to get caught up when you're 6-0 and just, ride the wave, and this is what we're doing, and everything's going good, and, but, if you see opportunities to get better, you have to get better, and, I know Jordan puts a lot on himself, and it's what makes him really good, and it also, sometimes that can catch up with you, I love the way he's been playing, but I just thought it was a good point, midpoint through the season, 6 games into it, just to kind of have a reminder, these are things that, one areas that I think we can continue to get better, but also, just a reminder of, go out there and be you, and, it's, each win, each week, all circumstances you're going to face, there's going to be pressure, that's going to be there. I mean, that's part of college football. If you don't, and I've said it many times, if you don't embrace that, well, this is definitely not the place for you. But, we go and we put a lot into it, and, but I don't ever want to see a guy, and this is a team in general, I talked to the team about this, I don't want to see you go through a season and, have all the success in the world, but not enjoy it. And it's like, going out there Saturday night, I mean, it's one of the points I told the guys, I mean, you go start that legacy walk, you take a moment, you look around, you see, that was unbelievable, walking through our fan base there before the game, and then you get out on the field, and it was that was a special atmosphere, and I just want them to receive all of that and to enjoy that, and to not get caught up in just just the game. I mean, take all of it in, and man, go have fun playing this game that you work so hard for.
All right, next will be Corey, second row on your right.
It's kind of a multi-layered question about the fourth down calls. On the first one with Jordan, it's a QB sneak, but he doesn't go straight ahead. He kind of goes to the left a little, which he's done before. But if he had gone straight, it seemed like the line.
He made the right decision on, the guys knifed in. We were a little bit late, getting off in one position, and they stemmed the gaps defense. So if you go straight ahead, it's not a whole lot of room to get there. But guy came through, grabbed his foot, his knee got down just half an inch before he had the first down. So I mean, that was one of those things that ultimately would I do it again? Absolutely. And and he made the right decision. Sometimes if you go left, you go right. Yeah, the guy, it's all kind of part of it. But came up a couple inches short.
And would you do it again from your own 36?
I think all things, as you go into a game, you're trying to maximize each drive, and we got 4th and 1. The numbers speak to yes. Early in the game, yes. I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that you're up, you're down. Obviously, all those things you kind of take into it. And we're down 7. I feel good about what we have. We don't execute it very well, and we get a TFL in that situation. But I still felt good about the decision, and ultimately it was a 3-point swing. Our defense did a good job. They went out and got a stop, forced a long field goal. They executed. But we're trying to maximize the possessions we have, and that's one of the things you look in college football. I mean, it's especially playing really good teams. It's you gotta capitalize on it. Now, there's been times that I've been 4th and 1 situations and I've punted the ball, so it's like it all kind of equates to the game. But in that moment, I felt confident what we would do. Obviously, that did not play out, but also our defense did a good job kind of having our back and really holding it to 3 and forcing a long field goal, and our guys were able to overcome that.
We'll go to Jordan back left.
Kind of adding on to that, you guys were really good in 3rd down, red zone. What do you think the key was against Duke? It's a really good 3rd down team and a really, really good red zone team.
Yeah, I mean, it's our guys did a great job in their preparation and their planning, and part of the reason why I felt pretty good about some of those those 4th downs decisions. I mean, it's a big picture balance, but I liked our plan in that situation. I thought our guys did a really good job in the way that they worked, and they knew, and we're we're good in third downs, we're good in the red zone, and you know, because sometimes you go good on good, and you got to go out there and execute. And our guys executed at a high level, and you know, I think that was one of the keys to the game. When we talked to the guys last night about our objectives. You know, our defense did a great job in third downs, third and fourth down situations. We did a really good job in third and fourth down situation, or in third down situations. Not so much fourth, but and then when you got down in the red zone, you know, we held them to 1 field goal and 2 attempts, and obviously we were 4 for 4 and with 3 touchdowns when we got down there. So that's one of the differences in the game.
All right, we'll stay on the left side for Essen.
On that Jordan Travis interception, what was he looking for, and what did you see when you rewatched that play? And was there something he could have done differently there?
I mean, not really. I mean, it was they dropped 8. You know, he had time and went through a progression. You know, had a window. You know, sometimes when teams drop 8, there's going to be anytime that teams drop 8, there's going to be tighter windows. I thought we had an opportunity there. Defensive back did a good job. The ball kind of got tight in on Keon, and you know, obviously it popped up in the air, and do we want to be better? Yes, we do. And there's a couple of elements just to technique, things that we could do better. You know, but it wasn't coming off of it wasn't like, oh, this was a terrible decision or this was that. I mean, it was the guys did a good job rallying to make a play. You know, we got the ball to into a tight space, but obviously it didn't work out, and we'll be better here moving forward.
All right, we'll stay over here for Brendan.
Having 3 straight home games, and especially with the atmosphere you had this past Saturday, I guess what kind of impact can that have for recruits' visit and just for them to even see it on TV? Like, how does that platform help?
Oh, I mean, it means everything for that. I mean, we've had 3 straight weeks, a lot of great recruits that are here, and being able to see what it is, a game day environment, to be able to be a part of this program. We've had a lot of guys make multiple trips, coming back, and I mean, they see the importance of Florida State football. They see that you get 3 straight sellouts. Whether it's afternoon game, obviously the night game was remarkable, but they see the passion around this program. They see the platform that they get to be on. It's awesome when it comes to that experience for a young man trying to look at the places that that he would want to be at, and it's definitely made a great impact.
We'll go back to Ira on your right.
I also want to ask a multi-layered question.
So we've gone away from the 2 for 1s. Now we're multi-layered.
There was a negative stigma.
Thank you so much. I didn't sense it. There was a negative.
On the Lawrence Tofili touchdown screen pass, I mean, you were super excited, like I'm sure everybody was, but like, was it as much about the play call and how it worked, or was it just the circumstances of getting that score? And then also, could you just talk about Lawrence and like how you kind of define him? I mean, he's not like somebody that has to have the ball 20 times a game, but he seems like he makes a big impact every game.
I'm gonna give you a multi-layer response. Nice. Yes. To all in the first question, it was to see the players execute in that moment. You can kind of get a sense that we were pushing to the brink. You start seeing a little bit more pressures, pops. To be able to have a play call that was good into a situation, but then for the unbelievable execution. And what I loved as much on anything on that play, the effort, because nobody I called it out. I told our team after the game, I think I even said something in the post game, go watch Marquise and Douglas on that play. He's away from the play, does a great job. It's kind of a speed sweep action to Keon. A little bit we'd handled the speed sweep earlier. You see the kind of a little bit of the pull, but Marquise comes all the way back across the field and has the last block to be able to allow Lawrence into the end zone. You look at the offensive linemen that were out leading the way. I mean, that gets me fired up when I see that, because I know practice. I know how much time we put into it. Jordan does a good job drawing the rush. Lawrence does a great job of getting out. A guy comes to grab him, he avoids it, and then you finish in the end zone. That's beautiful. Like it's a wonderful thing as a coach. And yes, situation. Yes, now you go up, going to be up 11 or have a chance to be up 11 with the extra point. But all of that is the emotion, and for what Lawrence does, I mean, he is, how do you describe playmaker? Whatever you ask him to do. I mean, he was covering punts as a gunner. He's He's been on our punt pressure team. Just whatever it takes. Running back, what he does at receiver, blocking, protections. Like he had a couple of pass pros in the game that I thought were awesome. I mean, just whatever we ask him to do. I mean, he's such a playmaker, and you see the physical development in his body. He's been great throughout his career, in space and this and that, but you see the total package really starting to emerge, and whether it's big runs in the run game, whether it's catches out of the backfield, lining up at receiver, whatever he's asked to do, he's been really, really good at kind of embracing that his versatility, but he's still growing in it, and he's building more confidence into things as he's grown physically.
Corey?
Do you foresee Destin and Johnny being available this week or anytime soon? And if not, maybe talk about the receivers that have to step up in an absence and why you have depth.
Well, we'll see where it is. I know I can tell you Johnny was in a really good place yesterday. Coming out of the game. Destin, went through, got more work yesterday in practice than what he did in the previous week. So excited to see kind of where those guys, go as the week progresses. But it does open up new opportunities, and it's good that we have depth in that position. It's good that we see guys, being able to get quality reps throughout the course of the game, and now it's just elevating the production. And if you have we never know what it's going to look like. Coming into the last game, I mean, Duke did a really nice job of trying to take multiple guys to focus on, the outside guys, and I don't even know how many catches there are. Tight ends, running backs. I mean, it was, they were awesome in the game, and they took advantage of the opportunities that came their way. And so, it's the same thing at the receiver position or running back, or when you get into the game, because Holmes had a touchdown at red running back, Rodney had a touchdown. When you get in the game, you got to make it count. And, obviously I love our depth at receiver, Darion, Kentron, Jakai, getting him, continuing to get ramped up. Akeem Williams, I mean, those guys, Deuce Spann, I mean, has really, that was a big, I love watching Deuce last night. He was bouncing with a different step. And, sometimes those big plays can do that for you. Dre Jacobs is another true freshman that is, hasn't really been forced into the actions, played a little early, but he's a guy that is continuing to get better and has got to grow and emerge. So, I'm excited about what that group is, and hopefully we have Destin and Johnny rolling here this week, because that keeps us at full strength. And so, but if not, it's new opportunities for other guys, and we got a talented group.
All right, we'll go back to Kurt.
On Jordan's touchdown run, I know Jaheim was kind of the lead block for him. I think he was waving him in right before he kind of laid a big block that kind of paved the path totally for Jordan. That's not, I know, why you brought Jaheim here to be the blocker type, but how have you seen him take to and kind of grow in that aspect of the tight end role?
I mean, it is actually one of the reasons why he's here, because we saw a guy that was very talented with the ball in his hand, a very explosive player. I wanted him to be a complete player, and the fact that he's embracing that role, like that is about growth. Like, yes, Jaheim does wonderful things with the ball. Like, I mean, you see his playmaking ability, you see all of that. But why a guy comes here is to get better. And we saw a young man that had tremendous athletic ability, tremendous explosiveness. He didn't know how powerful he could be. And like, I thought that showed up in the game a few times where it's just like, man, I was very, very proud of him in that. And it's not, you go and there's so many guys that are out there, like Johnny Wilson coming in a few years ago. I mean, it wasn't just because of all the catches that he had at previous institutions. We said, oh, this is going to be a next great receiver. I mean, I want to make sure that when somebody comes here, that yes, does Florida State get better? Absolutely. But do they get better? Do they improve? Do they have an opportunity to grow and be all that, that their potential is? And I think you see that with Jaheim, and that's what excites me about seeing a guy that comes in and buys into something that might not be a whole lot of fun. I mean, and sometimes that the things that you get asked to do, and that but he's now embracing it where it is something where he sees it as his strength. And so yes, I think it adds to the level of versatility of what he brings, and just definitely makes him a more dynamic weapon with or without the ball.
We got time for two more. We'll go to Aslan in the back right corner.
Coach, after the game, Braden just talked about the good chemistry in that locker room and the pieces that you were able to bring in. obviously the transfer portal, you've been very sort of, meticulous about bringing in guys that have multiple years, but a guy like Braden only has 1 year left. What kind of value does it have a guy that's played so much football and is kind of sold out and buying into your guys' vision?
Yeah, I mean, Braden's been remarkable. Very similar mindset to what Jermaine had when Jermaine came here. Now our program's in a little bit different place than, there's more, we had more like-minded individuals that, that Braden's come into that group, and so, but it's still the same impact. Like he wants to be great for his teammates. I mean, he is in this building as much as probably any human being. Like he utilizes every resource. He's there to to build relationships with his teammates. Because I mean, it was a very similar story. Like this is a 1 year deal, but if it's just about the on the field, if it's just about what that's going to look like, then this is probably not the best place for you. And he's like, Coach, I want to come in and be able to make a positive impact on all things: the culture, the teammates, the experience, what it is to be a Florida State Seminole. I mean, if you watch him play and you watch the relentless, effort and pursuit and physicality, the celebrations with teammates. I mean, all of it. We're getting all of Braden Fisk, and we're trying to help, give all that we have to help him continue to grow. But that's what you want. You want guys that that buy into the total experience of what it is to play football here. And I think he's done a great job with that, and he's continuing to get better. But I mean, he's we got a great team, and I said we have a great team because of the character of the guys that we have, and he definitely has added to that.
All right, last one will be Ira.
You alluded earlier to how much attention they were placing on stopping Keon or slowing down Keon and Johnny. With that in mind, how impressed were you with just the desire from Johnny on some of those catches? I mean, he made a few catches where it was like he just decided nobody else was going to get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Johnny's, I've seen missed a game, missed a game, but I think he's, and he's played at a very, very high level. And, had a couple opportunities earlier in the year that, maybe he caught but just didn't finish on, there when the ball got to the ground or all those things. And you see him playing at, I think, an elite level. And, he's really done some great things in practice and the way that he's pushing. I'm so proud of him for the positive strides that he's taken, and that's what you want. And when you have go-to guys that they get opportunities, you want to see them capitalize on those. And he's definitely trying to leave his mark with every time the ball comes his way.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right.